I died on a rainy Tuesday in October, choking on my own blood as the pills dissolved in my gut like acid rain. The last thing I saw was my husband's face, smirking from the doorway of our Tribeca loft. Phone in hand, already dialing his lawyer to claim the life insurance payout he'd engineered. Betrayed, broken, and bankrupt, I'd swallowed the hemlock of my own despair, convinced the world had chewed me up and spat me out. But death isn't the end, it's just the universe's cruelest plot twist. Because when my eyes snapped open, it wasn't to pearly gates or fiery pits, it was to the sterile hum of a fluorescent light in my old Midtown apartment. 3 years earlier, my 28-year-old body sprawled on a futon that smelled like cheap takeout and unfulfilled dreams. My heart jackhammered against my ribs as the pieces slammed together. The date on my phone, July 15th, 2022. The mirror across the room showed my face, Sarah Klein, wide-eyed junior analyst at Vanguard Capital, not the hollowed-out shell I'd become by 2025. I'd clawed my way up from a nobody in Ohio to Wall Street's darling, only to watch it all crumble under the weight of one man's lies. Ethan Hargrove, my mentor, my lover, my destroyer. He'd framed me for insider trading, leaked falsified emails that painted me as the greedy bitch stealing from clients, all to cover his own Ponzi schemes sucking billions from pension funds. The SEC raid, the headlines, rising star falls, Sarah Klein's $200 million fraud, they'd gutted me. Friends vanished. Family turned away. And Ethan? He walked free, married my sister, and golfed his way to a corner office at a rival firm. I retched into the trash can, the bitter taste of regret mixing with the phantom burn of those pills. This wasn't a dream, the scars on my knuckles from that last futile punch at Ethan's smug jaw were gone. But the memories? They burned brighter than ever.
Trùng sinh, reborn.
I'd read enough Korean dramas in my insomnia-fueled nights to know the trope. But this was my shot at payback. American style, raw, ruthless, and rigged for redemption. Or ruin. I wiped my mouth, staring at the reflection that could still pass for innocent. Fuck you, Ethan, I whispered to the empty room. Round 2 starts now. The first order of business was survival. In my past life, I trusted too easily, poured my soul into Vanguard, into Ethan, into the illusion of meritocracy on the street. This time, I'd play the long game. I logged into my ancient laptop, fingers flying over keys worn smooth from late-night models. The markets were the same chaotic beast, but I remember the crashes, the bubbles, the whispers that became roars. Tesla's dip next quarter? I'd short it. Nvidia's surge? I'd ride it like a stolen horse. But revenge wasn't just about money. It was about stripping Ethan bare, layer by layer, until the world saw the rot beneath his Ivy League polish. By dawn, I'd sketched a plan on a crumpled napkin. Step 1. Get back to Vanguard without tipping my hand. Step 2. Document every dirty deal Ethan touched. Step 3. Leak it all not to the feds, but to the court of public opinion, where scandals spread like West Nile in a heatwave. Controversial? Hell yes. I'd have to cross lines, hack a few emails, maybe seduce an insider or two. Decisions that'd make my old self blanch. But the old Sarah was dead. This one? She was forged in fire. I showered, the hot water scalding away the ghost of that rainy night, and dressed in my thrift store blazer, sharp enough to cut glass. The subway to Vanguard's glass tower in the financial district was a sardine can of suits and stress. but I navigated it with a predator's grace, eyes scanning for threats. Ethan was already there. Of course, in 2022. He was the golden boy VP, poaching talent like a hawk spotting field mice. Our mentorship started in a week, coffee in the break room, his hand lingering too long on my shoulder. This time, I'd let it, use it like a knife in the dark. Sarah Klein.
Right?
Fresh meat from the interview pool. His voice slithered over me as I clocked in. That same velvet drawl that once made my knees weak. He leaned against my cubicle wall. Tie loosened like he owned the air. 35. Broad-shouldered. With eyes like a shark's, cold. Calculating. Always hungry. I forced a smile. The kind that didn't reach my eyes. Guilty as charged, Mr. Hargrove. Ready to learn the ropes. He chuckled. Low and intimate. Call me Ethan. We're all family here. Family. The word twisted in my gut like barbed wire. In my first life, those words hooked me, reeled me in until I drowned. Now, I'd swallow the bait and spit out the hook. The days blurred into a grind of spreadsheets and schmoozing, but I moved like a ghost with a grudge. I befriended the IT guy,
Raj.
over vending machine coffee, slipped him a 24 accidental access to Ethan's archived emails. Nothing damning yet, just hints of off-books trades funneled through shell accounts in the Caymans. But I knew the pattern. By year's end, those drips would flood into the torrent that buried me. Nights, I pored over SEC filings in my shoebox apartment, cross-referencing with the dark web forums I'd bookmarked in my reborn haze. Sleep came in fits, haunted by flashes, my father's disappointed sigh when I called home broke, begging for gas money, my sister's wedding photo. Her arm looped through Ethan's like a noose. Dad God.
Dad.
Retired steelworker in Cleveland, he defended me to his dying breath, even as the tabloids called me a thief. Last I knew, in 2025, he was still scraping by, golfing with his old union buddies at the public course, bragging about his Wall Street girl, even after the fall. I couldn't fix everything at once.
But Dad?
He'd get a win early. A anonymous wire transfer, $5,000.
Nostrines.
Let him think it was a bonus from his part-time gig. Small mercies in the war ahead. 3 weeks in, the hooks sank deeper. Ethan invited me to a client dinner at Delmonico's, the steakhouse where deals were sealed in blood-red wine. Where something fierce, he texted, winking emoji attached. I chose a black sheath that hugged like armor, lips painted war red. The table was a who's who of hedge fund vultures, gray suits, sharper smiles, hands that had crushed more dreams than I'd had hot dinners. Sarah's our secret weapon, Ethan announced, arms slung casual around my chair. Numbers wizard with a killer instinct. They laughed, clinking glasses, oblivious to the storm brewing in my veins. I played along, charmed the room with quips about market volatility, dropped just enough foresight to seem prescient. By dessert, 2 had slipped me cards, call if you ever jumped ship. Ethan's eyes gleamed as we cabbed back to his place. Mine was too far. I let him kiss me in the elevator. His hands greedy, but my mind was a vault, locked tight. In bed, as he snored, I snapped photos of his phone screen, text to an offshore broker. Double down on the widow fund, Klein's none the wiser. Widow fund. The pension scam's codename. Jackpot. Morning light filtered through his penthouse blinds as I slipped out, leaving a note. Last night was magic. Let's do lunch. Magic. The word tasted like ashes. But it bought me time. Back at Vanguard, the whispers started. A rival analyst, Mia sharp as a stiletto, jealous from day one, cornered me in the ladies' room. Sleeping your way up? Classic. Her reflection sneered back at me, all Botox and bitterness. I met her gaze, unflinching. Jealousy's ugly.
Mia.
Try moisturizer. Crude. Controversial, straight out of a 90s chick flick. But it landed. She flushed crimson, storming out. In my old life, I'd have crumbled, apologized.
Now?
I filed it away, leverage. The real test came mid-September. Ethan pitched a sure thing trade to the board, dumping client shares in a green energy startup before the EPA scandal broke. I remembered it vividly. The stock tanked, wiping out retirements. And the blame shifted to me in the cover-up. This time, I flagged it subtly in the risk assessment, burying red flags in jargon only a forensic accountant would unpack. He caught me after the meeting, door to his office clicking shut. What the hell was that memo? Sarah? Undermining me? I blinked, feigning innocence. Just covering bases. Ethan. You taught me that, protect the firm. His jaw ticked. That telltale sign of the snake coiling. Careful.
Kid.
Loyalty's a two-way street. He stepped closer, breath hot on my neck. Don't make me regret bringing you in. The threat hung like smog. I nodded, eyes downcast. But inside, I was already drafting the whistleblower tip to ProPublica. Timed for maximum burn. Fall deepened, leaves turning in Central Park as my double life hardened. By day, Ethan's protege, by night, his shadow. I dated casually, a barista with tattoos. A lawyer who quoted Hemingway, but it was all smoke. No fire. Trust was a luxury I couldn't afford. Dad called once, voice crackling over the line. Heard you landed that job.
Kiddo.
Proud of ya. I choked back tears, promising a visit soon. Lies built like bricks. Then, the first crack in the facade. Raj hacked deeper, uncovered Ethan's side hustle, laundering through a Newark nonprofit for Veterans Aid. Veterans. My uncle's Purple Heart hung in Dad's garage, the irony curdled. I leaked a tip to a freelance journalist. Low-key. Just enough to stir the pot. The article dropped on a Friday. Vanguard exec linked to shady charity. Ethan's name wasn't front and center. But the photo? Him at a gala. Arm around a senator. The office buzzed like a hive kicked. He cornered me again. Fury veiled in silk. You see this shit? Wild. Huh. I sipped my latte. Casual as a cat. World's full of snakes. His eyes narrowed. Searching. For a heartbeat. I thought he'd snap, expose me, fire me. Instead, he laughed. Brittle.
Yeah.
Full of He walked away. But the seed was planted. Paranoia would eat him alive. As October chilled the air, I prepped the next move, infiltrate his inner circle. The annual Hargrove holiday party, black tie debauchery at the plaza. I'd go as his date. Mine intel from drunk execs. But first, a pit stop in Cleveland. Dad's birthday. Time to rewrite one ending before I torch the rest. The Amtrak rattled through Pennsylvania. My laptop opened to projections. By spring, I'd have enough dirt for a class action suit. Controversial? Planting evidence? Maybe. But justice on the street wasn't blind. It was bought. I'd pay in full. Dad hugged me at the station. Flannel shirt smelling of pipe tobacco and possibility. Sarah, look at you, city girl glow. His golf buddies waited in the diner, slapping backs, ordering fries. Over pie, he boasted. My girl's killin' it at Vanguard. Big leagues. One buddy, Tom, retired cop with a paunch, grinned. Wall Street. Don't let him fleece ya, kid. I smiled, masking the storm. Wouldn't dream of it, but as Dad laughed, I vowed they'd never know the fleece. Not this time. Little did I know, the fleece was fraying faster than I planned. Thanksgiving loomed like a bad omen. Turkey and tension stuffed into one bloated weekend. Back in Manhattan, I dodged Ethan's invites. Family first, I lied, holing up with spreadsheets and scotch. The leak had ripples. Internal audit whispers. Clients pulling funds. Ethan was jumpy, barking at interns, his charm cracking like cheap veneer. Good. Let the pressure build. I pushed harder. Posing as a temp, I sweet-talked my way into the archives, dusty boxes of client files that screamed embezzlement. Cross-referenced with blockchain trackers I'd coded in secret, it painted a picture. $50 million siphoned, funneled to Ethan's Cayman slush fund. Enough for indictments. If I played it right. But right meant risky. I burned copies to a thumb drive, encrypted tighter than Fort Knox, and stashed it in a safety deposit box under a fake name, Sarah Voss. Nod to my grandma's maiden grit. The party at the plaza was a glittering viper pit, chandeliers dripping light like liquid gold, gowns whispering secrets. Ethan arrived late, Scotch sour on his breath, claiming me like a trophy. You clean up nice, he murmured, hand possessive on my waist. I leaned in, lips brushing his ear. Only for you.
Lies.
All lies. But they tasted like victory. We worked the room, me charming the widows whose pensions he'd gutted, him schmoozing donors blind to the blood on his ledger. A silver-haired heiress, Mrs. Langford, cornered me by the bar. Ethan's protégé? Smart girl. But watch him, wolves in sheep suits. Her eyes twinkled. Gin loose. I pressed. Any bites lately? She spilled, offhand mentions of creative accounting at Vanguard. Names I'd Google later.
Midnight.
As confetti rained, Ethan pulled me into a coat-room alcove, lips crashing hungry. You're mine tonight, he growled, hands roaming. I arched, calculated, whispering, prove it. His phone buzzed, ignored, until it rang insistent. He cursed, stepping back. Deal with this. The screen lit, urgent, audit alert. I glimpsed the text, feds sniffing charity angle. Deny everything. Heart racing. I played dumb. Everything okay? He pocketed it.
Smile forced.
Just business, babe. But the mask slipped, doubt flickered. As we taxied to his place, he grilled me subtle. Hear any office gossip? I deflected with pillow talk later. Bodies tangled, mind cataloging his tells, the vein pulsing at his temple. The way he clutched the sheets like a lifeline. Dawn broke gray. I ghosted before he stirred, Ubering home with a bruised ego and fresh intel. Mrs. Langford's names led to a whistleblower forum, anonymous posts from a Vanguard insider. Scared shitless. I messaged, I know what Hargrove's hiding. Meet? Risky as hell could be a trap. But the reply came swift. Coffee. Bryant Park. Noon. The meet was a bust, no show. Nerves jangling like loose change. Paranoia? Or setup? I tailed a shadow figure instead. Hoodie blending with the lunch rush. Led to a Starbucks 2 blocks over. Mia, my office frenemy, huddled with a notebook. Eavesdropping from the next table. Earbud mic live recording. Hargrove's covering for me too. That trade last month? We split the kickback.
Bingo.
Mia wasn't just jealous. She was complicit. Ethan's mini-me in heels. I slipped out. Pulse thundering. Blackmail material. Pure dynamite. But deploying it? That'd mean going dirty, threaten her job. Her rep. Force a confession on tape. Controversial didn't cover it. It'd make me no better than him. Still, as I deleted the recording for now, I knew the line was blurring. December snow dusted the streets. Holidays a haze of forced cheer. Dad called. Voice buoyant. That money you sent? Miracle. Sarah. Bought new clubs, gonna crush the links with the boys. Guilt nod. It was dirty cash for my first insider flip. Love you, Dad, I said, meaning it fierce. Vanguard's holiday bonus round hit. Fat checks for the faithful. Peanuts for the rest. Ethan pulled strings, mine came padded. A performance bump. For my star, he winked over eggnog. I cashed it. Funneled half to a Cayman account of my own, irony's sharpest blade. The other half seeded a slush fund for leaks. Lawyers. Whatever the war demanded. New Year's Eve. Times Square glittered like fool's gold. I watched from a rooftop bar.
Solo.
Champagne flute in hand. Fireworks boomed. Crowds roared resolutions.
Mine?
Burn it down. Ethan texted, miss you. Ring in the new with me? I typed back, soon. Vague as vapor. January thawed the freeze. Markets roaring back. I shorted the green energy stock pre-scandal, pocketing $80,000 on a hunch that turned heads. Whispers, Klein's got the touch. Ethan noticed, pulling me into strategy sessions, his trust a noose tightening. You're wasted in analysis, he said one frostbitten morning. Join my team, real power. Tempting poison. Honored. I demurred. But let's nail this quarter first.
Stall.
By time to dig. The dig unearthed bones. Ethan's college roommate. A disbarred lawyer named Vic. Ghostwriting the falsified emails that'd frame me later. I tracked Vic to a Jersey strip mall office, posing as a client with tax troubles. He was slimy, cheap suit, cheaper cologne, but loose-lipped over bad coffee. Hargrove, pays well to forget. What's your poison? Mine's revenge, I said, sliding a photo across. Him and Ethan at a yacht club, arms around a Cayman banker. His face strained. What do you want? Everything. Tapes, docs, the works on Ethan's widow fund. Silence stretched, taut as piano wire. Then, double your offer.
Cash.
Extortion. The word echoed. But I wired it, 20 grand for my bonus slush. Files hit my inbox by nightfall. Audio of Ethan boasting. Klein takes the fall. She's expendable. My blood iced. The betrayal replayed. Vivid as vomit. I confronted no one. Not yet. Instead, I fed snippets to that journalist, timed for drip feed damage. First piece, Vanguard VP's ties to offshore schemes? Ethan's photo splashed across Bloomberg. Boardroom scrambling. He exploded at me privately. Office door locked. This leak shit, you hear anything? Me? I blinked wide. Hand to heart. Ethan, I'd never. His fist slammed the desk, inches from mine. Someone's gunning for me. If it's you. The threat trailed. Venomous. I held his gaze. Unflinching. It's not. But if it were, you deserve it. The words hung. Electric. He blinked first, storming out. Fracture lines spread. February's full moon lit my path to darker deeds. Mia's complicity burned. I cornered her after hours. Conference room dim. I know about the kickbacks. Confess on tape. Or I go public with your name starring. She laughed. Brittle. Blackmail? You're as slimy as him. Worse, I admitted. I died for this. The truth slipped. Her eyes widened. But she nodded, trembling. The recording captured it all. Dates.
Amounts.
Ethan's sign-off. Power surged. Addictive as coke. But mirrors lied now. The woman staring back had shadows under her eyes. Edges honed to razor. Was this justice or just another scam? Dad's voicemail waited. Golf outing tomorrow. Buddies from the mill. Wish me luck. I smiled faint. Jialingbek.
Crushing.
Dad. You're a legend. Spring teased with crocuses. But winter clung in my bones. The leaks escalated. ProPublica deep dive. The Widowmakers. How Wall Street robs the retired. Ethan's name bolded. Clients fleeing like rats. Vanguard suspended him pending review. He called me at 2 a.m. Slurred. Sarah.
Help me.
You're the only one I trust.
Trust.
The word mocked. I'm here, I soothed, recording every plea. Tell me everything. He spilled names, accounts, the frame job plan for me. You'll be the hero, baby. Take the heat. Then we run, came in sunset. Hero. The lie I'd swallowed whole once. I love you, he mumbled. Love you too. I lied, ending the call. Dawn broke. I compiled the dossier. Airtight. Time for the kill shot. But twists wait for no one. A knock echoed, FBI badge at my door. MS. Klein, we need to talk about Ethan Hargrove. My world tilted. Busted? Or bait? The agent was crisp, suit starched, eyes like chipped flint. Special Agent Ruiz. Badge glinting under my hallway bulb. Mind if we step in? It's about irregularities at Vanguard. Irregularities. Understatement of the century. I waved him to the futon. Heart a war drum. Play dumb. Sarah, the oldest trick. Irregularities? Like what? He flipped open a folder. Photos spilling. Me at the plaza. Time-stamped with Ethan. You and Hargrove.
Close.
And these? Emails, my falsified ones. Dated future. Leaked to us anonymously. Your signature.
Framed.
Again. But this time,
Pre-crime. Someone Mia?
Vic, flipping to save skin. My mind raced. Deny. Deflect.
Destroy.
That's not me. Deep fake bullshit. Check the metadata. Ruiz leaned forward, unblinking. We will. But off record? Hargrove sturdy. Help us. And maybe we help you. The offer dangled.
Barbed. Snitch.
Get immunity or ride the wave down. Controversial calculus. Rat out Ethan now. Steal my thunder? Or hold? Let him squirm longer? I'll think, I said, voice steady. Call me tomorrow. He left, I bolted the door, breath ragged. The thumb drive burned in my pocket, my ace, now compromised. I shredded backups. Paranoid sweep of bugs. Sleep? A joke. Dawn found me pacing, plotting countermeasures. Vanguard was a circus, suits and huddles. Printers jammed with NDAs. Ethan gone. His office taped off like a crime scene. Mia avoided my eyes, slinking to meetings. I cornered her in the stairwell, voice low. You sick the feds on me? Her lip curled. Self-preservation.
Bitch.
Hargrove promised protection. From what? Me? I laughed. Cold. Play stupid games.
Mia. Lose your job.
Your freedom, all of it. She paled, but spat. You're next. That hunch trading? Insider tips. They're watching. Checkmate vibes. I retreated. Facade cracking. The Fed's net tightened. Ruiz called at noon. Decision time. MS.
Klein.
Hargrove's lawyered up, claims you're the mastermind.
Me?
The twist gutted. Ethan's counterpunch, flipping the script early. Using my reborn knowledge against me.
Bastard.
Bullshit, I snapped. Meet me neutral ground. I'll bring proof. The handover was a park bench in Battery Park. Wind whipping off the harbor. I slid a USB across. Select files. Enough to hook but not gut the fish. This clears me. The rest when he's cuffed. Ruiz pocketed it. Nod curt. Smart play. But if you're dirty, I'm not. Lie by omission. My trades teetered on the edge. But clean enough for deniability. Weeks blurred. Depositions. Shadowed tales. The grind of legal chess. I lawyered up, a shark from Brooklyn. Gloria. Who ate feds for breakfast. Plausible deniability's your friend, she coached. Stick to, I suspected. But feared retaliation. Suspected. The word chafed. I'd known. Lived it. But testimony flowed. Ethan's boasts. The widow fund horrors. Victims testified, too. A Detroit widow. Voice cracking. My husband's pension gone. For their yachts. Juries ate that up. American as apple pie and pitchforks. Ethan's arraignment was spectacle. Flashbulbs popping like gunfire. Him in cuffs. Glare slicing through the scrum. Our eyes met across the courtroom, his wild with betrayal. You bitch, he mouthed. I smiled.
Small.
Karma. Ethan. Bail denied. The judge saw flight risk stamped on his passport.
Inside.
Triumph warred with nausea. This was payback. But hollow. Echoes of my grave. Media frenzy hit. Cnbc wanted exclusives. Podcasts dissected the Vanguard Vipers. I dodged. But Gloria leaked strategic. Whistleblower Sarah Klein. The woman who stopped the steal. Hero narrative. Spun silk from guts. Dad caught wind via CNN in his lazy boy. Call came frantic. Sarah? That you on TV?
Jesus.
Kid. What the hell? I flew home that weekend. Amtrak blurring to Cleveland's Rust Belt grit. Dad waited at the station. Arms open. But eyes wary. Proud? Hell yes. Scared shitless?
Ditto.
Over pierogies at the Polish diner. I spilled sanitized. No deathbed confessions. Boss was crooked. I blew the whistle. He squeezed my hand. Calluses rough. Guts like your mom. But Wall Street? It's a meat grinder. His golf buddies piled in post-meal. Slapping shoulders. Tom the cop. Saw you on the news. Badass. Beers flowed. Toasts to Sarah the Slayer. Dad beamed, but pulled me aside later. Garage light flickering over Uncle's metal. Those guys? They think you're a rock star.
But me?
I just want you safe. Safe. The word mocked. I am.
Dad.
Promise. Lies again. Back in New York. The backlash bit. Online trolls. Whore, who slept up. Death threats in my inbox. Ethan's fan club. Bitter bros. Gloria beef security. I moved to a fortified walk-up in Brooklyn. May bloomed bloody. Trial prep ramped. Victim stories a gut punch litany. 1. A nurse from Philly. Ethan charmed my savings away. Now my kid's college? Dust. I testified last. Voice steady. He planned to frame me emails. Recordings. I have it all. The prosecutor beamed post-cross. Devastating. But Ethan's counsel? A silver fox from Skadden. Shredding my trades. Insider knowledge? Or precognition? MS. Klein. Objection sustained. But damage lingered. Jurors whispered, was I angel or devil? High summer heat baked the city as jury deliberated. I holed up. Chain-smoking menthols on the fire escape. Ghosts crowding. My sister, estranged since the betrayal, texted. Heard about Ethan. You okay?
Delete.
No bridges there. Verdict dropped like thunder. Guilty. All counts. Embezzlement. Fraud. Conspiracy. 20 years minimum. Ethan lunged at the bar as cuffs clicked. Scream raw. She set me up. That cunt knew. Bailiffs wrestled him. Courtroom erupted. I slipped out back. Ruiz waiting. Full files. As promised. You're clear.
Clear.
The word echoed empty. Reporters swarmed. Sarah? One question motive. Justice. I said. Camera lights blinding.
Lie.
It was vengeance. Pure and petty. Aftermath avalanche. Book deals. TED Talks. Vanguard settlement. $100 million to victims. My cut, a consultant gig at a clean firm. Dad's voicemail. Front page.
Kid.
Golf boys won't shut up. Recognized you from that Cnbc clip live. That's Sarah, they yelled mid-swing. I laughed. First real one in months. But nights? Sleepless. Replaying the pills. The blood. Fall leaves turned as I rebuilt. Therapy sessions unpacking the near-death stress. Anonymous donations to victim funds. Mia copped a plea. 2 years probation. Blackballed forever. Vic disappeared to Florida. But IRS audits hounded. Ethan appealed from Sing Sing. Letters smuggled. You think you won? I made you. Burn them all. Thanksgiving circled. I hosted Dad in my new loft. View of the bridge. Ghosts exorcised. To second chances, he toasted. Eyes misty. Second chances.
Yeah.
But the real twist? Buried in Discovery Docs. Ruiz slipped me a file. Ethan's suicide note from custody. Ravings about the witch who came back. Hallucinations? Or had I whispered in his dreams? Chills. Reborn. But hunted. Winter whispered warnings. December's chill seeped into bones as the appeals dragged. Ethan's legal machine grinding like a rusted mill. I thrived on the surface. Keynote at FinTech Summit. From betrayal to breakthrough, crowds applauding my courage. Inside, a hollow core. Echoes of that rainy death mocking every smile. Dad's Christmas golf outing became legend, his buddies retelling the CNBC moment like urban myth. Mid-putt. There's Sarah on the screen. Cool as ice. Dropping bombs on that crook. Holy shit. That's Klein's girl. Nearly chipped into the sand trap. He laughed it off on calls, but pride swelled his voice. You did good.
Kid.
Real American grit.
Grit.
The word chafed. Mine was laced with grudge. New Year's brought resolutions I broke by epiphany, dipping into dark pools. Anonymous shorts on firms Ethan tipped in old emails. Profitable, but paranoid. Every trade a potential tripwire. Spring 2023 bloomed vengeful. A letter arrived. Postmarked Sing Sing. Ethan's scrawl. Jagged. Sarah, you think it's over? I have friends. Ones who remember favors. Enclosed, a photo me. Blurry. Entering the feds meet.
Leaked.
My blood froze. Who'd snapped it? Ruiz? Betrayals Hydra. Heads regrowing. Gloria lawyered harder. Restraining orders. Sweeps for tails. He's cornered, lashing out. Ignore. Ignore? Impossible. Nightmares returned. Pills dissolving. Ethan's smirk morphing to a noose. I upped therapy.
DR.
Hail probing. This rebirth fixation. Trauma metaphor? Literal. I muttered. Then clammed. Secrets buried deeper. The real storm hit May. Whistleblower backlash. A Fox Business hit piece. Hero or hustler. Sarah Klein's convenient confessions. Pundits piled on. Feminist witch hunt. Wall Street's Me Too scam. Trolls dox my address. Bricks through windows. Scrawled. Bitch deserves the fall. Vanguard distanced. Consultant role reviewed. Clients ghosted. Dad called. Worried. Don't read the crap.
Sarah.
You're gold.
Gold. Tarnished.
I fought back. Op-ed in the Times. The cost of speaking truth. Why women still silence themselves. Went viral. Blue check retweets. But the damage? A chasm. Then, the twist that shattered. A package. Unmarked USB drive. Labeled truth. I plugged in. Alone. Blinds drawn.
Videos me.
In Ethan's penthouse. 2022. Post Plaza. Moans edited grotesque. Spliced with fake trades. Deep fake porn. Revenge edition. Attached note. Leak this. Or I walk free on appeal. Blackmail's cold claw.
Release it.
Ruin complete. Sarah Slee's trending eternal.
Comply.
Empower the monster. I smashed the drive. Shards like ice. Then called Ruiz. Ethan's got a mole. Find it. Mole hunt unearthed Vic. Flipped again. Ethan's puppet from the shadows. Raid nabbed him in a Queens motel. Laptop spilling more filth. Plans to frame me anew. Using the deepfake as bait. Hargrove's insurance, Vic squealed. Said you came back from the dead, obsessed. Obsession mirrored. Trial 2, Ethan's appeal. Now conspiracy add-on. Courtroom redux. But hotter. AC failing. Sweat beading as I took the stand again. His eyes bored in. Manic. She's lying. Fabricated it all. Ghost in the machine. Judge banged gavel. Jury unmoved. Verdict. Appeal denied. Extra 5 for extortion. As cuffs tightened, he lunged verbal. This ain't over. Sarah, you'll choke on it again. Sheriff hauled him. I exhaled. Chains loosening. But the deepfake lingered. Leaked anyway. By some hack. Internet inferno. Memes. Think pieces. My face pornified across porn sites. Gloria sued platforms. Won takedowns. But scars? Digital forever. Summer sweltered as I clawed back. Podcast empire. Reborn on the street. Raw tales of survival. Listeners ate it, women demang. You gave me courage. Dad guested once. Voice gruff. My girl's tougher than rebar.
Tough.
Fractured. Therapy cracked the dam. I died.
Doc.
Pills. Betrayal. Tears first, then truth, the rebirth, the rage. Hale nodded. No judgment. PTSD with a side of miracle. Own it. Owning meant forgiving?
No.
Forgetting? Impossible. But channeling, I founded a nonprofit, Klein Watch, auditing Wall Street for wolves. Bored? Victims? Widows? Even Mia, reformed, eyes haunted, paid my debt. Let me help. Fall harvest. First grant. $2 million to fraud recovery. CNBC special. Me. Live from the NYSE floor. Bell ringing for transparency. Dad watched with the boys. Hollering mid-swing. That's my Sarah. Post-broadcast. Emails flooded. Opportunities. Olive branches. Sister called. Ethan's gone.
Can we
Talk. Hesitant bridge. Winter wrap gentle. Christmas Eve. Dad and I on his couch. Tree twinkling. Remember that golf tale? He chuckled. They still rib me. Your daughter's a CNBC star. But seriously, kid, you okay? Eyes met.
raw?
Getting there. Thanks to you. Hugs lingered. Snow fell soft outside. Reborn, not just me, us. Ethan's last letter came New Year's, you won. But was it worth the monster you became? No return address. I burned it. Ashes to wind. Worth it? Dawn answered, yes. Vengeance forged, but grace tempered. The street still chewed. I chewed back. Wiser.
Whole.
Twists end. In the mirror. No ghost, just Sarah Klein.
Alive. Twice.
And that, happily ever after. American grit.